In the core of Switzerland, where the unblemished elevated air murmurs mysteries to the expert skilled worker of horology, there exists a domain of immortal polish and unmatched accuracy. This is where Rolex, the paragon of extravagance watchmaking, becomes completely awake. In the profundities of Rolex's mysterious ateliers, gifted craftsmen participate in a fragile hit the dance floor with age-old practices and state-of-the-art technology. It is where the minutes, hours, and seconds are not just markers of time, yet entryways to an existence where dreams meet reality. Each Rolex watch is an orchestra of creativity, an association of materials, and a demonstration of human resourcefulness. The incredible clam case, a wonder of designing, is brought into the world from a block of strong steel, carefully cut and afterward fastidiously cleaned to a mirror-like finish. Its airtight seal ensures that each Rolex watch can endure the most tricky profundities of the sea and the most frightening levels of the sky. In any case, the core of a Rolex, the motor that drives its spirit, is its development. Here, the accuracy is sharpened flawlessly, with each stuff, each spring and each gem carefully positioned with the greatest possible level of care. It is a sensitive expressive dance of miniature designing, where the steady quest for exactness exceeds all rational limitations. Rolex is an extraordinarily famous watchmaker that offers many models in 2023. In the event that you're considering how much these models cost, we have the most recent costs recorded for you. Continue looking as we separate how much does a Rolex cost by models, so prior to beginning, remember to buy in. Sent off back in 1953, the Rolex Submariner watch was the primary jumper's watch, to arrive at a profundity of 330 feet. This was a specialized forward leap for the extravagance watchmaker and broke the limits of what was conceivable with a wristwatch. The present-day Submariner based on that achievement and is waterproof to a profundity of around 1,000 feet today. The Rolex Submariner was highlighted in a couple of James Bond films, developing the fame of the watch essentially. The watch comes in 40mm and 41mm case sizes, with both highlighting a similar plunge functions. The Rolex Submariner accompanies a beginning retail cost of $9,100 today, making it one of the more reasonable choices. Sent off over a long time back, the Rolex GMT Expert is an unquestionably sought-after Rolex. This famous model has a monstrous holding-up list, with huge number of high-profile clients all over the planet persistently sitting tight for their timepieces. The GMT Expert is a notorious Rolex and is an incredible part of add to your assortment. The GMT Expert immediately became notable because of the way that you could monitor double cross zones simultaneously. This model comes in treated steel, white gold, and Eve rose gold options. The GMT Expert beginnings at the retail cost of $10,700 today. The Rolex Clam Never Ending. The Rolex Shellfish Unending is a cutting-edge, smooth wristwatch that has gone the distance. As referenced before, the Clam Ceaseless was the primary waterproof watch from Rolex. This special model broke limits for the organization and is to some degree liable for the progress of the brand. The Shellfish Interminable has been refreshed and updated throughout the long term. The cutting-edge rendition accompanies a 41mm or 36mm case fitted with a domed bezel. The Clam Ceaseless is likewise the most reasonable Rolex that you can get, as it accompanies a beginning retail cost of just $6,400. Rolex Daytona. The Rolex Daytona was sent off, harking back to the 60s, and was inconceivably well known among the rich and renowned. Nonetheless, entertainer and hustling lover Paul Newman made the watch famous as his own watch sold at closeout for $17.80 million. This made it the most costly Rolex at any point sold. The notorious Games watch arrives in a 40mm case and is worked with unquestionably the best materials available. This makes the watch one of the most noteworthy choices to consider for your collection. The Daytona accompanies a beginning retail sticker price of $15,100, yet it will take you some time to purchase. This is on the grounds that there's a 5-year hanging tight rundown for the Rolex Daytona at the present time. Rolex Ocean Occupant. The Rolex Ocean Inhabitant is a top-notch watch that has been intended for remote ocean exploration. Handcrafted by Rolex, this unquestionably strong and waterproof plan can uphold plunging to a profundity of 4,000 feet or 1,220 meters. This makes it one of the most great extravagance watches cash can purchase. The Ocean Inhabitant was created close by plunging experts from around the world. This made something really unique for jumpers, commanders, and everybody that cherishes the water. The Ocean Inhabitant begins at $13,250 for a pristine model. The Rolex Voyager was intended to arrive at new levels, investigating the spots that not many individuals at any point get to see. This great extravagance watch is made with premium materials created in a smooth, current plan. The Rolex Wayfarer can show both of you different time regions simultaneously, yet is intended to stay noticeable in even the most extreme of atmospheric conditions. This is the thing makes the Voyager ideal for heading out to a portion of the world's most distant locations. The Rolex Pilgrim traces all the way back to the 50s, as Rolex committed serious assets to making an exceptional watch that can endure the components. Notwithstanding, the cutting-edge Traveler expands on this and accompanies a recommended retail cost of $7,250. A notorious extravagance watch accompanies a consequently changing date function. This watch was a moment hit and has turned into the most famous Rolex watch ever. The model arrives in at least a couple variations, including groups produced using strong gold, steel, and two-tone gold. The Rolex Datejust is one of the most famous Rolex models today. This is somewhat because of the retail value, as it's one of the most reasonable Rolex watches you can get. The retail cost of the Datejust begins at only $7,700 for a fresh out-of-the-box new model. The Rolex Sky Tenant is important for the Clam Unending family, however arrives in a creative, exemplary design. This great plan permits you to see two different time regions simultaneously. Notwithstanding, this watch likewise has a programmed yearly schedule. The Sky Occupant shows the ongoing date, very much like the day date, yet in addition, tells you what month we're in by featuring the number in red. This is an unobtrusive yet supportive component that pilots and continuous voyagers love. The Sky Tenant beginnings at a retail cost of $15,650. The Rolex Day Date. These models are unbelievably uncommon and accompanied a lot bigger sticker price. Notwithstanding, the standard day date official from Rolex accompanies a beginning retail cost of $38,500. This makes it one of the most costly Rolex models that you can get today. While the standard model might accompany a monstrous holding up list, there are a couple of one-of-a-kind models available today. A portion of these one-of-a-kind models can be considerably more costly, making them an extraordinary speculation. The Rolex Yachtmaster. If you're searching for a strong, waterproof watch that you can take cruising, the Yacht Expert is the ideal choice. This notorious wristwatch arrives in a wide range of forms, with metal band choices too. Intended for cruising, a few models accompany flyback regatta clocks that likewise have mechanical memory. The Rolex Yacht Expert is an interesting watch that you must sit tight for. This is on the grounds that new models start at $11,500 and accompany a holding up list that is a couple of months long.